Euro 2024 is approaching, and I decided to provide you with all the information about the national teams from each group and what we can expect from them in Germany. In the last 3 tournaments, the Bundesteam has struggled a lot, facing criticism for their play and tactical decisions. Despite hopes that Hansi Flick would improve the situation, the team's performance in friendlies worsened, leading to his replacement by Julian Nagelsmann and Rudi Völler. They have since brought order and created a unified playing model. The team boasts enviable talent, including Leroy Sané, Jamal Musiala, and Florian Wirtz. Nagelsmann knows how to best utilize this trio to maximize their impact, and to give them the freedom to play, he will use defensive midfielder Andrik from Leverkusen with Toni Kroos, for whom this tournament will be the last in his career. Nagelsmann plans to use Mittelstädt, Kimmich, Rudiger, and Tah. The main issue of the Bundesteam is the center-forward position, with Füllkrug and Kai Havertz as the options. Havertz is likely to be favored for his versatility, despite his not the best finishing abilities, but I trust in Nagelsmann's vision. The Germans are strong favorites to advance from their group, though it won't be easy. Scotland lacks high-level players but is very solid. Their goal is to advance past the group stage and reach the playoffs for the first time. Known for their pragmatic play under Stephen Clark, they rely on smart tactics and high pressing while maintaining a compact defense. Their strength lies in motivation, which helps them perform well when stakes are high. Scott McTominay is their top scorer despite being midfielder. John McGinn is a key playmaker who, in my opinion, is the most underrated player of last season in Premier League, and Andy Robertson, despite an average season due to injury, is going to be a crucial player once he's going to regain his form. Other notable players include Billy Gilmore, Aaron Hickey, who will also play their role. However, they lack a strong central forward and goalkeeper, which could impact their Euro results. Nonetheless, they have a good chance of advancing from the group stage. The Hungarians are one that can give any opponent a hard time in the tournament. They have quality players in many positions who play in good clubs and leagues. Reliable goalkeeper Péter Gulácsi and defender Willi Orban, both from Leipzig, along with Attila Szalai and Roland Salai from Freiburg, and their superstar from Liverpool, Dominik Szoboszlai, who had an excellent start to the season but played averagely towards the end, yet always performs excellently for the national team. There's also the young star from Bournemouth, left fullback Milos Kerkez, who had a very strong season. The Hungarians play good counter-attacking football, resulting in a 14-match unbeaten streak. This will be Hungary's 3rd consecutive Euro and the 2nd for their manager Marco Rossi, who is notable for winning the Hungarian league with Honvéd in 2017. Rossi has implemented a good adaptive tactic, but the team's growth ceiling has been reached. It will likely be the hardest for them to advance from the group, but they will certainly keep other teams on their toes in matches against them. The Swiss team, entering the Euros with experienced players, is well balanced in skills. Despite being a sensation at the last Euros, they've underperformed under Murat Yakin since he replaced Vladimir Petkovic in 2021. Their total ball control tactics falters defensively, conceding frequently since they simply don't understand how to play without the ball. The game centers around legends Granit Xhaka and Xherdan Shaqiri, with Xhaka directing play and Shaqiri seeking attacking opportunities alongside Zeki Amdouni. Defenders Fabian Schär and Manuel Akanji are unreliable in the national team, though goalkeeper Jan Sommer excels and for whom it might be the last international tournament. The team's weak points include their defense and manager Yakin. Despite high-quality players, expectations for their performance in this tournament are low. The Albanians were a revelation during the qualifiers, finishing first in their group to reach the Euros for the 2nd time in their history. Manager Silvino has assembled an excellent group of players from Serie A, their strong point, conceding only 4 goals during qualification. The team includes Elsaid Husay, Christian Aslani, Nedim Bahrami, and recent Europa League winner Berat Jimsiti. They also have 2 good goalkeepers, Thomas Strakosha and Etrit Berisha. However, their weak point is their attack, which significantly reduces their chances of advancing from the group. Nonetheless, a miracle might happen if Armando Broja finds his form during the tournament, but for now, they are most likely to finish last in their group. Croatians are not in their best form right now. Despite this, Zlatko Dalic's team managed to secure 2nd place during the qualifiers, though they still face significant problems. While they have many quality players, their form leaves much to be desired. Mateo Kovacic and Joško Gvardiol had very average seasons with Man City, and over half of the squad is over 30. Despite this, Luka Modric remains the heart and key figure of the team, and I personally expect excellent performances from Josip Stanisic, Borna Sosa, and Lovro Majer. Playing against Croatia will be tough for everyone due to their vast experience, but like many teams in this tournament, they have not found a good striker since Mario Mandzukic left. The team might get into the playoffs, but it will be difficult for them for sure, marking a potential sweet farewell for the golden generation of Croatian football. Meanwhile, the Spanish team is undergoing an active phase of generational change, which has brought much criticism to Luis de la Fuente. The defeat to Scotland caused widespread discontent, but the victory in the Nations League and topping their qualifying group for the Euros have calmed critics, though there is still some skepticism towards the coach. The group stage will not be easy, with high intrigue for Group B. Spain has many good and experienced players like Carvajal, Rodri, Nacho, Morata, and this season's sensation, Alex Grimaldo. They also have many young talents like Pedri, Nico Williams, and Lamine Yamal, who will be eager to make their mark on Europe in this tournament. Spain plays attractive football with ball control, sometimes holding it more than necessary, which can backfire as we witnessed in recent friendlies. Despite this, they score a lot and are sure to showcase vibrant games. Spain is one of the favorites, not only to advance from the group, but also to potentially reach at least the semi-finals of the tournament. Also, Italy, who almost missed the tournament, but a referee's decision helped them secure second place in their group in the final match against Ukraine, much to the delight of UEFA President Alexander Ceferin. Many in Italy were and remain dissatisfied with how their national team played during the qualifiers, calling them cowards. However, Luciano Spalletti paid no attention to this criticism, focusing instead on securing a spot in the tournament at any cost. Spalletti understands that Italy no longer has superstars in every position as it once did, so he must adapt to mask the team's weaknesses. He can build an excellent team game thanks to the large number of interplayers in the squad: Bastoni, Darmian, DiMarco, Barella, and Fratesi. The cohesion of these players will be crucial in shaping Italy's play, but the main problem remains the central forward position. Despite this, Luciano has repeatedly demonstrated his skill in maximizing his players' potential and emphasize on team play, so they can confidently aim to advance from the group. In my opinion, Serbia was quite lucky to qualify for this tournament, as they played very mediocrely in their group, finishing second with 14 points. Despite this, the team has many excellent players, and Serbian fans will be cheering them on, believing they can advance from the group even with mediocre play. Serbia's main assets are their attacking players like Mitrovic, Vlahovic, and the legendary Dusan Tadic. Despite Kostic having a difficult season, he can still deliver excellent passes to his teammates. As for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, it's hard to say what form he's in, but he remains a key player for the team, which can be both an advantage and a disadvantage for Serbia. Despite their excellent attacking potential, their defense is their weak spot, with the only reliable defender being Strahinja Pavlovic from Salzburg. Knowing his team's characteristics, Serbia's manager Pixi will likely play with a high defensive line, offside traps, and pressing to mask their weaknesses. Serbia might compete for third place in the group, and their matches will definitely be fun to watch. For the first time in 20 years, Slovenia has qualified for the Euros, and they will clearly be the underdogs in their group. However, they have good players who can showcase their skills in this tournament. The team's main star is Benjamin Šeško, around whom the team is built. This season, he has shown a high level of performance for RB Leipzig, scoring 18 goals in all competitions. He can certainly create opportunities during Slovenia's attacking phases. Additionally, they have longtime leader Jan Oblak in goal, whose performances give them a minimal chance of advancing from the group. We will also see the Slovenian legend Josip Ilicic, whose story is well known to many, and I am glad he was invited to this tournament as a mark of respect. The team will park the bus, so they will confidently secure the fourth place in the group. In Denmark, many are pleased with the emergence of Rasmus Højlund, as they have lacked a good center forward for many years. Additionally, they have quality players in many positions, and the national team manager, Kasper Hjulmand, builds the game based on his coaching style. Over the past 4 years, everyone in the team has remained confident in this approach, as it constantly adapts tactics according to the opponent, without strict adherence to positions. Only 2 players have clearly defined roles: Eriksson and Højbjerg, as they are the brains of Denmark, with quick ball distribution and expansive attacking play. They also have a solid defense with experienced players like Andersen, Kjær, and Christensen, and of course Kasper Schmeichel in goal. I'm confident that Denmark will advance from the group, but their maximum potential may reach the quarterfinals in the tournament. The England national team continues its attempts to win an international tournament, and they came close to achieving it in the last tournament. This time, Gareth Southgate's team will be more motivated than ever to win the title and meet the expectations of the fans. Their squad is currently one of the most balanced in terms of experience and youth, and players like Kane, Foden, Bellingham, Kobbie Mainoo, and Cole Palmer will be making history and achieving new milestones for England. The only weak point of this team is not the players, but the manager himself. Southgate's conservatism and inability to win important matches have often jeopardized England's success in tournaments, as seen in recent games. England should definitely reach at least the semi-finals, ideally playing in the tournament final again. However, the players will need to take the initiative and show creativity when Southgate's tactics fail to secure victories. The Polish national team, to be honest with themselves and with the Poles, played poorly in the qualifiers, which is understandable since the Polish Football Federation has always had trouble with the managers they appoint. Currently, the manager is Michał Probierz, who hasn't particularly stood out, and he employs almost the same dull playing tactics as Southgate. This tournament will most likely be the last for Lewandowski, and for such a type of striker, it's important to have good assistance. The only one in the team who handles this task well is Zielinski when he's in the right form. Among other players, Jakub Moder, Frankowski, and Szczęsny deserve mention. It's a pity that Matty Cash didn't recover from his injury in time, as he had a fantastic season for Aston Villa. Poland's maximum potential is reaching the round of 16 in the tournament, so let's see what they can show during the competition. The Netherlands, the most important national team not only in this tournament but also in all of Europe, is undergoing a generational shift, and during the qualifiers they showed an interesting play. The number of talents in their squad is simply fantastic. Players like Siemens, Van de Ven, Koopmeiners, Jeremy Frimpong, Dumfries, De Jong, Nathan Ake, Van Dijk, Blind, and many others. The team is phenomenally talented in every position except one, goalkeeper. This has been a problem for them since 2008 after Van der Sar's departure, and it has persisted ever since. Additionally, the team lacks strong pressing, but this is Ronald Koeman's style, which can work both in their favor and against them. However, as I see it, the team is capable of reaching the quarterfinals of the tournament, and if they're lucky, even the semifinals. Austrians have enough talented players, but the problem is that most of them will miss this Euro due to injuries. It's particularly disappointing for David Alaba and Xaver Schläger. Despite their injuries, under Rangnick's management, Austria could spring a huge surprise on all tournament participants. The current generation of Austrian footballers has a bold character that perfectly fits Ralf Rangnick's philosophy. In the Austrian team, players like Gregoritsch, Sabitzer, who is crucial to the midfield in the absence of Alaba and Schlager, and Leimer from Bayern, as well as Posch and Moeni, stand out. The team looks very balanced, but like the Dutch, their weak spot is the goalkeeper position, but their strong assets are physical abilities and tactical flexibility. Austria can definitely surprise and advance to the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, the favorite of the group and the entire tournament, France, is motivated to conquer the Euros, something they have failed to do with Didier Deschamps as the national team manager. Despite similar criticisms to those directed at Southgate, Deschamps has proven that he can select and motivate players in important matches, although his cautious approach sometimes restrains the team's ability to play more brightly. France has virtually no weak spots, with 2 or even 3 high-class footballers in every position, with players like Mike Maignan, Konate, Saliba, Pavard, Chouameni, Rabiot, Griezmann, Giroud, Dembélé, and Mbappé, as well as Marcus Thuram on the bench. The entire French squad is made up of incredible players. Tactically, the team presses at the right moments, executes counterattacks efficiently, and relies on teamwork, which is not surprising given the atmosphere within the squad. The French team can certainly reach the final unless they encounter a team like Switzerland did at the last Euros. The most mysterious team of this tournament is Romania. The only bright star of the team is defender Radu Dragusin from Tottenham, who performs his duties well but is very slow. There is also the backup goalkeeper, Horatiu Moldovan from Atletico Madrid, who has not yet debuted for the club but has shown himself well in the national team. Despite the modest number of stars, they performed quite well in the qualifiers and defeated Switzerland, so many will have to be cautious with them and not underestimate them, as they can play brightly on counterattacks, all thanks to manager Eduard Iordanescu. He managed to set up the team's game so that players are not afraid to take risks and take the initiative at the first opportunity, but because of this style, their defense is very vulnerable and weak. They are clear outsiders of the group, but it should be kept in mind that they can put up a fight. Slovakia was extremely lucky with the draw in the qualifiers, where they secured second place. Slovakia's manager Francesco Calzona prefers to play an aggressive style of football with pressing, constantly disrupting opponents' ball distribution on the opponent's half of the field at a moderate pace, with creativity provided by Stanislav Lobotka. In addition to him, they have a quality goalkeeper in Dubravka, Milan Skriniar, who had a less successful season at PSG, and David Hanko from Feyenoord, who in my opinion could perform well during the tournament. Slovakia's weak point lies precisely in their attack, and by all parameters they are a very average team that could contend for third place in the group. Ukraine, in my opinion, could be one of the surprises of the entire tournament alongside Austria. Almost all players compete in top European leagues for good clubs and possess the necessary experience to deliver incredible results at the Euros. Despite barely making it through the group stage and the refereeing scandal in the match against Italy, they showcased their skills and potential in the playoff matches against Bosnia and Iceland. Manager Sergei Rebrov has several tactical strategies prepared for different scenarios. They know how to play both with and without possession, executing positional attacks and defending against big teams while being proficient in counterattacks. There are strong players in almost every position. Zinchenko, who can play as a left back or a creative midfielder, Mikolenko, experienced Ruslan Malinovsky and Stepanenko, as well as Zabarny, Tsigankov, and Dovbyk from Girona. The main star, Andriy Lunin from Real Madrid, sees this Euro as crucial, as he aims to leave Los Blancos due to Carlo Ancelotti's lack of trust in him. Additionally, Georgi Sudakov will undoubtedly strive to prove himself to secure a move to a top-tier league team. Ukraine has everything needed to reach the quarterfinals, but there's a noticeable imbalance in attack which affects their defense and could influence the final outcome. Belgium Belgium's golden generation failed to win anything due to personal issues between players that prevented them from securing even a single tournament victory. The current Belgian squad is balanced, featuring a mix of young talents and experienced players who will guide the newcomers. Defensive midfielders Onana and Mangala are joined in the midfield by Yuri Tielemans, whose talent is unquestionable. Additionally, Arthur Vermeeren, who recently transferred to Atletico Madrid and possesses phenomenal passing skills, is being integrated into the team. On the wings, Doku and Trossard are supported by Bakayoko and Luka Bacchio, with Lukaku spearheading the attack and Openda as his backup. Of course, we can't forget about Kevin De Bruyne and Charles de Ketelaere. The two main issues for Belgium are their defense and goalkeeper positions. Courtois won't be at the Euros, not only due to a recent injury recovery, but also because of a conflict with Domenico Tedesco. Besides De Bost from Anderlecht, there is no standout defender, although pairing him with Vertonghen could prove effective. Belgium tends to play based on their opponent's mistakes and sharp as knife counterattacks. While they are the favorites in their group, I don't see them advancing beyond the quarterfinals. Czechia is an interesting team. They have good players and even showed excellent form at the last Euro, but now they are undergoing a generational change. They play boldly but somehow managed to lose to Albania, conceding 3 goals. After a successful qualification, they fired their head coach and replaced him with the cousin of legendary hockey player Dominik Hasek, Ivan, who has a very controversial coaching biography. The main players on the team are Mate Kovar, Vladimir Kufal, Tomas Suchek, Patrick Schick, and Adam Hlojek. Most of the other players either play in the Czech league or are part of the rotation in German or Italian clubs. Despite everything, the Czechs have one advantage. Most of their players have been playing together since childhood, and their level of teamwork is incredible, as many of them went through the academies of Slavia and Sparta Prague. They like to press and try to physically overwhelm their opponents. There are not many expectations for the Czechs, and they will likely advance from the group and play in the round of 16, which would be their maximum. Turkey, for me personally, is a surprise team that can both impress and disappoint simultaneously. Despite having many excellent players, they often fail to show anything substantial on the field together. However, with Vincenzo Montella's appointment as manager, the situation has gradually started to improve. The most attention will be on 2 Turkish prodigies, Arda Güler and Kenan Yıldız, who, along with Orkun Kökçü, will handle the creativity on the pitch, all under the leadership of Hakan Çalhanoğlu. The midfield is Turkey's strong point, while the attack and defense leave much to be desired. Their tactical style is very simple, focusing on pressing and quick counterattacks while the opponents are returning to their half. But with such a midfield, the individual skills of each player can add variety to the team's attack. Therefore, it is difficult for me to predict their outcome, but they will certainly compete to advance from the group. Personally, I'm delighted with the Georgian national team, which I really wanted to see in this tournament for many reasons. One of the main reasons for their success is Willy Sagnol, who has done a great job of setting up the team and understanding how to work with their players. The team is tactically very simple, but the passion they display on the field is captivating, especially their counterattacks. The main star of Georgia is Kvaratskhelia, who has complete creative freedom. Another very interesting player is Mikau Tadze, who personally impressed me with his skills playing for Metz, and one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment, Mamardashvili from Valencia, who will be sought after by many top clubs in the transfer market. Plus, if you follow the championship, you know about Watford player Chakvetadze, who has a very bright future. Georgia won't face much pressure and will simply enjoy their first major tournament in the country's history, making it a joy to watch them. The main favorite of the group is of course Portugal, which finally managed to dominate the qualifiers in a way they haven't for a long time, all thanks to Roberto Martinez and the players themselves, who enjoy being part of the national team. Diogo Costa, Ruben Dias, Antonio Silva, Cancelo and Dalot are key players, along with Palhinha, Bruno Fernandes, Bernardo Silva, Rafael Leao, and of course Cristiano Ronaldo. This isn't the full list, but there are charismatic players in every position. Unlike previous Portuguese managers, Roberto Martinez wants his team to play attacking and dominant football, which suits everyone in this squad, and you can see how much they enjoy being part of this team. Such an atmosphere and motivation should help Portugal reach at least the semi-finals of the tournament, which would be fantastic. But who is your favorite to win the Euros? Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out my other videos as shown on your screen, such as how Toni Kroos became Bayern Munich's biggest regret and the celebrities who own football clubs. My name is Ole. Love this game. I'll see you next time.